When I first started swimming competitively, I would only go to practices when I really felt like it. And I was like a person who really didn't like swimming too much and only liked the social aspect of it in the summer when I was with all my friends, hanging out outside, playing at the pool. That was a lot of days. I would constantly complain and beg my parents to just not let me go swimming today. And every day I'd just be like, oh, it's just today. It's not going to do anything. And those days really added up quick. Yet I still thought that I was like hot stuff at swimming and really good. Until I had a swim meet. I was swimming the 50-yard freestyle and I was beaten so badly by every other swimmer in my heat that I felt terrible. I went to my parents for comfort and support, and they told me that I should have gone to those practices and that I should have been better about going to practices and really trying at practices. And this lack of discipline by me, even at such a young age, not only made me lose and made me feel terrible, it made my parents disappointed in me. And it showed everybody around me that I was weak and unable to work hard. And it really came back to bite me quickly. So what is discipline? Discipline is doing the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. The thing that I say after every video I do, that is basically what discipline is. It's when you have those times when you're not motivated, you're down, you just want to lay on the couch and play video games. Yet you get up, you go to the gym, you go to your computer and you start studying for your test tomorrow. Something like that where you really do not want to do the activity, but you still get up and try your best at it because you know that's what you need to do. But it's also doing things that you are motivated to do or not doing things that you are motivated to do when they aren't good for you. Like motivated to eat junk food or watch porn or play video games. And you say, I understand I have these desires, but I can't fulfill them because I know they're not good for me and I need to do things that are productive. You need to push through when you're not motivated. That is the most important part, though, because I've talked about how playing video games, eating junk food can be good on occasion. And I'll admit, I do these things. Like yesterday was my mom's birthday, so we went out to a big dinner and I had some junk food there. And, I'll play video games with my friends occasionally when they want me to. So doing those things is fine. But we need to make sure that we're not doing them all the time, especially not when we're alone. That's a big one. Because if you do it while you're alone, it'll become a habit and then that's when it really starts to hurt you. But back to the point, you need to push through when you're not motivated. When you're at your computer typing up an essay for English and you're on page 1 of 7 and you're like, oh, I cannot do this. But the essay's due tomorrow. So you have to push through and you have to keep typing for as long as it takes for that to do. It's super easy to say, oh, you have to push through, but it really is hard, and we need to build up that discipline to be able to do things. So, why is it important? Well, we're never going to always be motivated. There are always going to be days when you don't want to study, you don't want to get up and go to the gym, you don't want to go to swim practice. And on those days, we have to keep pushing through. Otherwise, we'll never get anywhere in life because we just keep saying, nah, I'll not do it. And that's not how we got here, is it? We started going to the gym even when we didn't want to so we could build some big muscles and show them off to everybody. We started meditating even if we thought it was wishy-washy and stupid because we wanted to see if it would actually improve our mental health. It is There's a lot of things that use discipline that we don't see until we really know what discipline is. Just simply reading a book for school, which that you don't like, is discipline. Going to bed on time, even if you want to watch TV with your brothers, is discipline. Everything we do has some little bit of discipline in it, and we need a big storage of discipline to make sure that we can get through an entire day doing everything right, and then do that every day. But it will also build good habits for adulthood, because in my video about Habit Tracker, I talked about how hard it is to build new habits, and especially ones that like you don't want to do. Like if I wanted to try and eat, what is something I hate? A pound of meatloaf every day. Like I know it doesn't sound very smart, but bear with me. Like imagine meatloaf was like the healthiest thing in the world, yet I hate meatloaf. Building the habit of eating that meatloaf every day would suck because I hate meatloaf. But it would build a habit of me eating healthy, especially if it was the healthiest thing in the world. Because even when I don't feel like eating the meatloaf, I don't. I do, sorry. And if you really don't do anything when you don't feel like it, are you really as good as any of the modern media who's like, our feelings are so important. We need to use our feelings all the time and talk about them. When in honesty, all they're doing is keeping you in mediocrity by saying, oh, share your feelings. Come on, it's okay. Because it is so much easier to control people who are in mediocrity and don't like their lives, live a job that they're essentially a slave to, that have a wife that doesn't love them, not have kids that really just love and respect them, who's depressed and wants to kill himself, who doesn't have a good relationship with anybody because he can't polarize the relationship. And then he's like, "Oh, I need something to have." It's so much easier to control that. So why do you think they keep us in mediocrity? We need to push through and break out of this prison of mediocrity. We need to be the controllers. And then we need to break everybody else out. Like me, I'm still not even out yet. Like if this were a prison, I'm still breaking down the wall. But I'm going to bring hundreds, maybe thousands of people with me to break down this wall with me just by recording this video right now. So living in mediocrity, it's not an option for us. We have to do better than that. So how do you build discipline? Well, first we need to see your motivation being low as a challenge. Each time you're sitting there like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym today, or oh, I don't want to study, or oh, I don't want to go to work, or something like that. We need to see it as like a challenge. Like, hey, I'm supposed to do this, so let's do it. Like, almost see it as a video game where, in those video games where you shoot the ox with a bow, and then you gain a little bit of XP in the shooting skill or the archery skill, and then you shoot 100 ox with a bow and you level up. Think of it the same way in real life. I know, crazy, right? They made video games into real life. They made XP a real thing. But each time you don't want to go to the gym, see it as a challenge. Go to the gym anyways. Try your best. And when you get home, think of it like you just gained a little XP in the discipline area. And if you keep gaining XP, it will be easier to do things like go to the gym when you don't feel like it, study when you don't feel like it, go to work when you don't feel like it, eat healthy when you don't feel like it. Because you'll already have that experience of pushing through when you don't want to. So here's some ideas to start that I did, but you can try to make sure they work for you too. Some things are to place like your favorite little piece of candy in front of you. Like, for example, back a couple months ago, I placed Pop Tarts on my desk as I worked on making this YouTube channel, and I would not be able to eat the Pop Tarts, but they would just be there in front of me, and I would have to use discipline to think, I feel like eating these Pop Tarts, but is that really a good thing for me to do right now? And it works with anything as long as it's not like something very perishable that it can get rotten, because it's gonna smell terrible if you do that. So if you can just get like a wrapped piece of candy or something that you really like, just put it in front of you, just stare at it, or try and do work with it right there, and do not touch it. Don't open it, don't eat it, don't do anything with it. And then here's another thing. If you ever feel like stopping something, either push through to finish it, or if it's not something you can finish right now, have a set time you have to work on it. So let's say you feel like stopping on page 5 of the 7-page essay, but then you should probably push through to finishing that essay. But if you had a 15-page essay that was supposed to be done over 2 months, and you felt like stopping after page 1, maybe set a timer for 20 minutes where you still have to work as hard as you can. And after those 20 minutes are over, you can be done. Because that will help you build discipline to just push through for a little bit more. And just that little bit more will really compound. Because let's say I make 1 video a week, maybe 2 videos a week. And let's say, this only takes 30 minutes a week to do. So why don't I add 15 minutes to that? And now those just 15 minutes, I'm making 50% more videos than I was every week, which is a huge thing, because maybe that little extra bit of work gets 100 people to watch more of my videos and to see me more. So I get 50 more subscribers. That's great. You know what I'm saying? So even something as simple as 20 or 30 minutes can really compound if you work hard and you let it happen. Now, discipline is the most important part of self-improvement, because it's the reason we can work on off days. It's the reason we are better than all these normals out there. It's because, well, on the days where they don't feel great, where they don't want to do it, we are getting up out of our bed, going to the gym, pushing harder than we ever have before, and they're still laying on their bed. We get home, put our headphones on, start studying, they're still laying in bed. We go to martial arts and we hit a huge kickboxing session, they're still laying in bed. And we have progressed so much just by not feeling like doing things when they have done nothing but stay in bed all day. As men, especially as men that want money, fame, wealth, all of that, we need to make our off days better than everyone else's good days. We need to be able to beat people on their best day when we are on their worst day. Because if we have that slight chance, there's going to be that 1% that beats you because their best day is just a tiny bit above your off day. And that 1% of people might be the one that takes your wife. So really, we need to make sure that we are better than everybody else's good days on our worst days. But remember, it can be also fun, because you can make it like a game where you gain XP every time you do the work when you don't want to, when you want to lay in bed but you got to go to the gym, something like that. But also remember to keep yourself humble. This discipline is great, and it will help you become more confident, better as a person. But we do not want that to get into our head and start messing with our head, maybe slowing us down, making us complacent, or making us horrible to be around, because we think we're this huge, big ego that is better than everybody else, instead of really being humble, helping other people, yet not saying, oh, I'm so much better than you. And finally, do the hard work, especially when you don't feel it. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.